Hello, good morning. Making some trekking in the beautiful Dolomites, I was thinking about one of the most common subjects that you can find in the social media today. And I'm referring to the famous, well-known GOAT debate, the greatest of all time. In every possible field. You start from sports and you then you spread wherever you like. And arts, like music art in general, whatever you're thinking of, you can set a debate on who's the GOAT. And I'm making this video because, to me, this is the most incredibly nonsense discussion you can have with anybody, for the simple reason that you're talking. Let's take basketball, for example, because I played basketball, so I know a few things about it. And so you're discussing who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and Michael Jordan is one of the names that come out so often. But of course, then you get people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then you say, okay, they are, and then of course LeBron James today, and so you say, okay, these are the names, and one of these must be the GOAT, and so you just endorse this one or that one for this reason, that reason, most points and most rebounds, defense, offense, and so on and on, championships won, etc. Right? You can debate forever. You will never find a definite name. And the fun part of this is that the GOATs themselves are saying this. They have been saying this for years. Okay, the GOAT debate is nonsense. People just quit. Don't keep going because it's nonsense. The GOAT doesn't exist for the simple reason that you have different parameters. The game is different, the opponents are different, the way of playing the game, the number of championships. If you take, for instance, the number of championships won by a player, you have to pick Bill Russell, who was a player of the 50s, 60s, and he was playing in the Boston Celtics, and he won 11 championships. No one ever came even close to this. Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 6 championships in the NBA. I said 6, and which is half of 11. I mean, it's almost there. And still, people say, okay, Michael Jordan is the GOAT and Bill Russell, it's not possibly the GOAT because he's not. And so they keep going with statistics and points. But Bill Russell was able to play in a team that won 11 championships. Why not? Because the game was different. Because the teams were different. The average level was different, etc., etc., etc. So you're not going to find out. And people still are making videos and saying, no, the GOAT is this, the GOAT is that. I vote for this, I vote for that. And of course, quarrels and fights and so on. But then, and this is where I want to aim to, we are going down to art. I'm a musician. And so I look and hear every day people saying, this is the greatest piano player of all time. This is the greatest violin player of all time. If not, this is the greatest composer of all time, the greatest musician, the greatest conductor of all time. And so big names are scrolling down, like you are voting for the best hit of the week or the month or even the year. But it has nothing to do with this. Because if in sports you are not going to find the answer ever, doesn't matter how much effort you put in it, looking for it, you are not going to find an absurd thing like that. You can imagine in art. You can imagine the greatest composer. Was it Bach? Was it Mozart? Was it Beethoven? Was it, I mean, Stravinsky? I don't know. Was it Chopin? Who can ever say such an absurd thing? They were unique. They added something to the history of music that is unreplaceable. Each one of these great names. And we still and we keep going like, no, he's the greatest because he wrote so many things in the style and or in the ancient style and in the using the contrapuntus, the fugue instead of things like that, and they go on and on and on with these things. And then of course the players, the performers, and so the greatest pianist is Rubinstein, no is Marta Argerich, no is someone else, etc., etc. The greatest violin player, Oistrach, no, Menuhin, no, etc. And the greatest conductor, Karajan, Bernstein, Celibidache, this and that. People, please stop doing this. I'm talking especially to young people. I'm a teacher too. I don't want students to come and say, please teacher, tell me who's the greatest composer, who's the greatest conductor of all time. There is no such a thing. We are not making a statistic out of the most voted song of the year or of the month. We are enjoying great artists. That's what we have to do.